should be live. Looks like we are going live. Alright, we're here to be live. Let's go live now. Let's adjust the audio on the no, way down. That seems better, huh? That seems better, huh? Okay, I just had to check the audio on my phone. We got a bit of a different setup today. And the reason for that is we're talking about my Unreal Engine beast of a PC. There she is in all her glory. And so, I figured since we're going to be talking about her and we are using the PC to stream live OBS on the PC, we would flip our stage around. Normally I'm over there and the camera's looking that way, but you know, since she's the star of the show, I keep calling her a she. Just like she's my battleship. Like to go. Okay. All right, guys. How is everybody doing? Because this is a kind of a new setup, I had to sort of wrangle all the technology, as tends to happen. So let me make sure the music is working for me. Yeah, I'm digging it. Let's bring it down a little bit. You guys let me know if you're having any trouble with the audio. My light just turned off. That doesn't normally happen. But you're still there. Yep, okay. Everybody's good. It's just my light maybe needs to be plugged in somewhere else. So let's plug in my studio light somewhere else. Let's say right there. How's that gonna work? Love that pewter, says Michael B. Thank you, my man. Thank you. I'm still trying to figure out how to get the chat to show on the screen here. OBS, come on, OBS. Let's see if I can bring up, I'm using OBS on the PC. Chat, and it just doesn't, oh, it did, it loaded the chat. So, but it didn't load your comment. Thank you, Michael. How are you doing today? How is everything? This iMac Pro is just like dominating the scene, isn't it? My goodness. Well, okay, that's fine, because that's where my script is. And so I am recording live the script for my Friday long form video, which is going to be the 1 year review of this beauty. Let me show you a little bit of the RGB-ness. See, it's actually on. We got the RGB going there with that GPU. I did not think it was going to actually have lights on it. I don't care about RGB, but it does in fact have some LED lights. And they're not very colorful, which is fine with me, because normally I have this cover on there. Doing good here, working like mad on iClone animation. Yeehaw, 1 year. Can you believe it? Yeah. I love the work that you're putting up, my man. Great stuff. It's very cool. Very, very cool. I'm going to pull up that 1,000 subscriber video you sent me. That was awesome. I'm going to pull that up and share it with the peeps. So, for those of you who don't know, we've got the Midwest Unreal Engine and Blender group that I created for all of you guys to come together and share your stuff. And let's
where is that Bodhi? He seems to be late.
And Michael
I wonder what time
has been really active in the community.
He's busy up there in Duluth.
Much appreciated. Oh, I think it's you can probably hear it, huh? Let's see. Let's watch this together. Got to make sure I'm only sharing the parts of the screen I want to share. You know how it goes. Oops, I got to turn off. I got to change some of my display settings. The iMac Pro has night shift on right now, which makes it look super yellowy over on the PC. So we go to night shift and turn off until tomorrow. And here.
Oh gosh, where is that Bodhi? He seems to be late. I wonder what time he's going to really get here. I know he's busy up there in Duluth, but he said he was flying in. Well, hopefully he'll get here soon. I'll just have to sit around and wait.
Really cool, man. Really cool. And then I think you did. Here we go.
Hi, my name's Michael, and I just want to congratulate Bodhi on his 1,000 subscribers in YouTube. Hey Bodhi, congratulations. Hope to hear from you.
Thanks, Michael.
Hi, my name's...
How cool is that? So we got a member of the community who's, he made his 1,000 subscriber congratulations in Unreal Engine. How freaking cool is that? You're getting really good at Unreal Engine stuff, Michael. We will be collaborating. I'll need your help for some animation stuff for sure. You're doing really good. Yeah, man. Thanks for that. That's really sweet. And yeah, as you know, I'm just like fumbling my way through all this, learning as I go. It's really fun to learn. And it's great to see what you guys are doing, what you guys are creating. And, you know, I may be making some tutorials and like sharing, but, you know, Michael, the characters you're creating are better than I know how to do. You know, we all can excel at different areas and try different things, and it's always better to have a group, you know, a team effort. So I definitely want to get some of your advice and your help if you're willing to give it on some future projects. You've got potential, mister. You're kicking butt. Okay, so let me read the script I got here. So, those of you watching live, oops. You can see this little monitor here. This is how I actually record my Unreal Engine content, my PC content. I output a 4K 60 frames per second signal to my external monitor recorder, and I record it right on here. But it's running out of battery, so what I'm gonna do instead is hook up an AC adapter, but we don't need to do that right away. We might not even need to do that at all. That's just in case I want to record what's going on the PC screen. We might be doing some benchmark stuff today. But for right now, let's just talk about the computer. This is fun. The front of it opens if you want more airflow. But you've got these side grills here on both sides, so you can keep it closed for quieter operation. Right now at idle, it's silent. Oh, all right, yeah, the chat is working here. That is great. Okay, super happy to see that. For those of you on Facebook, I might be missing the chat. People other places. YouTube seems to work the best with my live streams. Just FYI. All right, so bear with me, guys. This is recording for my YouTube video. Bodhi the Movie Maker here. I had the wrong script up, I just realized that. Bodhi the Movie Maker here, and here is my 1-year review of my Unreal Engine beast of a PC with an RTX 4090 and an AMD Ryzen 9 7950X, 4.5 GHz, 16-core AM5 CPU, and 64 gigs of DDR5 4800 MHz RAM. And remember, if you find this video useful, please hit the like, hit the subscribe, and hit the bell. All right, I think I'm in focus. Looks like I am from what I can see on my screen. Tigger Tiramisu, awesome work, Michael. Hey, Tigger. Yeah, he's creating stuff. I think it's really cool that I get to bring this community together. Okay. Slightly out of focus. It's a little hard to tell. Here's what we're going to do. We don't want to go through all this trouble and then when I'm editing this video realize that it's out of focus. So here's my handy dandy focus tool. I'm zooming in on the camera right now to make sure that's in focus. You know what? It's acceptable. I'll accept it. All right, there's a whole lot of computer going on right now. Let's adjust that a little bit. I purpose-built this PC for Unreal Engine cinematic development. I'm a filmmaker and I'm using Unreal Engine to make animated films based on my horror novel, Northport 1999. Sign up for the newsletter below to get notified about auditions coming up for our next film. I based my build off of the Puget Systems pre-built standard PC, which came out to around $5,000 before shipping, tax, or their support plans that they offer. But by buying the components separately and building it myself, I saved at least $2,000 over what it would have cost if I bought it through Puget Systems or another PC pre-building outfit. I also was able to get a better CPU cooler and make adjustments to the configuration based on my desires. But as I discussed in my build video and my 4-month review, I made some mistakes and had some issues. So today we're asking, was it worth building myself? Are these PC components any good a year later? Would I still recommend them? What advice can I give you to avoid the mistakes that I made? And would I do it differently if I was building this Unreal Engine beast of a PC today? Let's get into it. So I am recording my YouTube video that I'm going to put out on Friday. Might as well do it while we're live streaming. You know, hatching 2 birds with 1 egg. So let's address my issues from the 4-month review. One of the issues I brought up was the GPU riser, which you can see right here. And that is mounted on an intake fan, which is not spinning. Why is that fan not spinning? Huh. Maybe I killed it with the GPU riser bar? Question for more nerdy people than I. Can a computer intake fan turn off because it doesn't need it? Do they ever just turn all the way off? Interesting. All of my other fans are spinning. Okay. Well, maybe it wasn't such a good idea to install my riser bar on top of that fan. However, I'm looking at my GPU temperatures right now, and it's hovering around 34 Celsius, which is fine. So clearly that's not a problem. But okay. So my GPU riser bar, which is the thing that keeps the GPU from sagging under its own weight, is installed on top of a PC fan. And this is the first time I've ever noticed it's not running. So I'll get back to you on that one. The other issue is that because I bought too large of a CPU cooler, this giant Chungus AIO CPU cooler radiator, it would be really hard to get it to fit inside this PC case. So I just decided to install it on the top. However, that leaves a few holes for dust to get in, so let me show you my DIY solution. We've put the side panel on. Okay. Now we've got these magnet strips here on both sides. And then I've got this mesh material. And, oh, using the magnets, we can just simply put this mesh material over the top, which doesn't really affect the airflow out of the radiator. But now, with it set up like it is, the dust will not just settle into the PC over time. And it still has plenty of nice airflow. I also remember talking about the bottom dust cover being a bit annoying, but I barely ever remove it anyways. This is the first time I'm removing it in many months, and it's only starting to collect a little bit of dust. So that's not really a problem. the bottom dust cover gets a little bit stuck on the fan mounts that I used for the Noctua fan. I also said that it's big, loud, and heavy AF. Turns out it's really not that loud. Even when it's running under a heavy load, the other, the fans that are attached to my lights are louder. My office environment is it's got a lot of noises going on, so the PC is usually the least of my concerns. And as far as big and heavy, if you're in the market for a 4090, you are probably fine with your build being gigantic. Just lean into it. In fact, we're going to talk about the PC case that I'm thinking about buying to replace this one later on. Spoiler alert, it's even bigger. Okay. It certainly is not as sexy when you got it all closed up with this janky dust cover. So let's take that off. But these were just like $10 on Amazon, all this mesh, really nice mesh material, and these magnet strips. So that's a great way to fix any holes you might have in a jerry-rigged PC case. Hey, what do you know? The bottom fan is spinning. So the fans do turn off if your PC is cool enough. And I would guess because I had the side panel open at the beginning of the video, it was cool enough. Or am I wrong? I don't know. That's the thing. I'm just learning as I'm going. I jumped in the deep end. Big is good, says Michael. I agree. I agree. When I wanted to follow I wanted to follow a lot of the things that Puget Systems recommended just because I didn't know what I was doing, and they're really reputable, and if they think it's the right case, then that's what I'm going to go for. That was my comfort zone for my first PC build and planning out all the components. There's just so many decisions to make, so I thought, let me just follow as closely as I can the people who do this for a living, Puget Systems. And that's the case that they use, and I think it looks really sleek, and with the cover on, it's super minimalistic. But then, of course, I realized I bought too big of a cooler. C'est la vie. But I will be buying a bigger case that's a bit more of a fish tank so that you can see in and look at your beautiful PC. More on that later. So back to my earlier questions. Was it worth buying the components separately and building it myself? Guys, I don't have the price breakdown right now for this live video, but I'll have it for Friday. Yes, monetarily it was worth it. I saved a lot of money. Also, because I purchased through B&H with their credit card, I did not have to pay any sales tax. That's a big amount of money for $5,000 worth of PC components. It cost me $4,600 around there. So 46 computer. What is 8.875% of 4,600? So $400 in sales tax savings alone. And if you buy it through Puget Systems, they don't pay the sales tax for you. B&H has a credit card they want you to use so that you don't pay on time and then you pay them interest. That's their hook. And so they'll pay your sales tax hoping that you will not pay your credit card bill on time, and then they'll charge you exorbitant amount of interest. If you use it like a debit card, though, all the savings goes to you. And so for big components, if you can get it without paying sales tax, you're going to save a lot of money. Also, Puget Systems just upsells everything. Everything has a they mark up every component because they're building it themselves for you and they're quality testing it. But then they also charge you a lot for shipping, which you can get for free through Amazon or B&H or Adorama. So you really do save a lot parting it out, buying all the parts at the best possible price separately, getting them shipped to you for free, and then building it yourself. So, side note on that, next question rather, are the PC components any good 1 year later? Well, yes. I just looked up my MSI Supreme X RTX 4090 and they just discontinued it. So it's driven up the price for that specific 4090, and now you can get these used for the same or more than I paid for it new. Wow. GPU prices are just kind of bonkers. They just go up and down and they're kind of crazy. Now, you don't have to get that specific RTX 4090. You can save a little bit of money by going for the ones that are not discontinued. They all hover at around $1,700 at the least expensive. However, when I got mine, it was at a low point in the RTX 4090 market. They fluctuate a couple $100 from season to season. Okay, so now Puget Systems has, since I built my PC, they have changed their recommendations for their standard Unreal Engine PC configuration. It's basically the exact same thing, except the CPU is now an Intel 14900K. The motherboard is the same motherboard, just the Intel version. So it's the ProArt, just like mine, but it's made for LGA sockets. With that being said, would I still recommend my exact build? Yes, and I might even recommend it over getting an Intel 14900K, which is a slightly more powerful CPU than the AMD Ryzen 9 7950X. Excuse me. Drinking too much orange juice. Okay. Man, I'm talking a lot about just tech, blah, 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 blah. So, I recently got a very interesting comment on one of my YouTube videos. A lot smarter people than I comment on my videos, and I think it's great. I love it. And they said, go with the AMD because the AM5 socket that this motherboard has is going to get a lot more CPUs in the coming years. Meaning, even though my CPU is kind of the top of the line for AM5 socket, it's not the last one that they're going to make. However, the Intel 14900K is supposedly the last Intel CPU they're going to make for that LGA socket. It's as good as it's ever going to get. So Puget is obviously fine with that because they prioritize like the absolute best performance over future-proofing, because most people who buy from Puget are willing to spend a couple $1,000s more than the parts are actually worth, because they're like VFX production houses and they just need it to work day one, pre-assembled. They need to know that they have somebody they can call at all times. They can ship their PC back to Puget if it has a defect or needs a repair. And so they're just re-upping their entire PC every 3 or 5 years, ostensibly, because they're a production house and they kind of need the most performance on demand all the time. But if you're like me and you want to get the longest lifespan out of your equipment, then it's worth thinking about sticking with an AM5 motherboard. So go for the top of the line AMD CPU right now, and you'll have multiple generations of CPUs after that that you can still use your motherboard with. because it's not at the end of its life cycle. The end of it's not hitting obsolescence. What advice can I give to you to avoid the mistakes that I made? I made some just simple first-timer mistakes. Make sure that you got the right size for all your components and that they actually fit within your PC. I just didn't read the specs correctly. I read the size of the 3 fans and I said, oh, they'll fit in there. Well, yeah, they would have, but the radiator's bigger, and I would have realized that if I had just looked at the pictures of the product, because the radiator's bigger than the 3 fans. Then there's compatibility. Make sure your RAM is compatible with your motherboard. Make sure your CPU is compatible with your motherboard. You know, some obvious mistakes can happen, and they can be pretty pricey if you don't return your stuff within the return window, if you buy the wrong thing, or, you know, if you open it and scratch it before you send it back and they don't refund you. I bought the wrong type of RAM at first. You know, that just delayed me. I had to send it back. Cost time. Such is life. Simple mistakes. What would I do differently if I was building this Unreal Engine PC beast today? The only thing that I'd really do differently is I would buy a Lee case. They're these big sort of fish tank looking cases with tempered glass so you can see into your PC, but they're also wider. They're kind of bigger in every dimension, so it just makes it a lot easier to assemble PCs that feature giant graphics cards like the RTX 4090, and they give you more room to put in more fans. So seeing as I have extra space on my desk here, I'm going to be upgrading to a Lee case, and this Fractal will probably go towards our $1,000 giveaway PC build. Speaking of which, I have news about the $250 giveaway PC. We'll talk about that at the end. I would have gone for all black Noctua fans. As you can see, I bought 2 extra Noctua fans, and it's the only thing that doesn't match the all black sort of aesthetic. I'm not crazy enough to buy a GPU just so that it'll match with the colors of the rest of my PC. I'm not that guy. There are people who sacrifice performance for, well, it was white and my PC is white, my case is white, so my GPU needs to be white. I'm not that kind of guy. But these fans are ugly. They're ugly AF, okay? I could have just bought black ones for the same price, and it bums me out. But they're only like 15 bucks, so I'll probably do that, and I'll donate these ones to the $1,000 PC build. My GPU riser, I should just buy an aftermarket one that I can put in between this PSU shroud and my GPU. Whatever, they're super cheap. I should do that. The other big thing is I have heard so many warnings about these GPU power cables melting, and people are telling me I should switch to a PSU that comes with an integrated 12 VH PWR power cable that goes directly to the 4090, circumventing the need for a 4-to-1 adapter, which is prone to failure. Okay, let's see. Let's just finish up some script-related stuff, and then we might try some benchmarking. So, final note about forums and sharing your PC on, sharing pictures of your PC online and being a content creator who talks about your graphics card and PC on YouTube. Did I forget to share my... I did. I think I forgot to share it on Patreon. Hey guys, let me share my video on Patreon, even though it's like 45 minutes late. Because who cares? see people texting me who should know that I'm live on YouTube, but they don't see it because I didn't share it on Patreon. All right, we are going live on my free Patreon, patreon.com/Bodhi the Movie Maker. There's a free version, and then there is the you can support me version for the cool kids. Publishing that now. In fact, here are some of the cool kids right there. You know what? The only person I don't have on there right now is Joni. Tigger Tiramisu. Joni B, thank you very much for being on the Patreon. Your name's going to be added to this shout out so that next time you will be there. You are getting shout outs in our weekly long form videos which go up on YouTube. And if you want to be like Joni and Michael and all the other cool kids and get your name in the shout outs and credited in the back of my book, Northport 1999, then you too can join my Patreon, patreon.com/Bodhi the Movie Maker. Okay, let's pick up where we left off with the script. When you share your pictures of your PC or your questions about how to do something in a lot of different internet forums, you're going to get a lot of haters. And you're going to get people that think every question you ask, no matter what it is stupid and laughable and pitiable that you should even ask that question. Fuck them. That's what I say. So I think about it this way. Would you rather be the guy who's asking questions and learning things and then putting that knowledge to work, or be the guy who's at home behind the safety of his keyboard ridiculing people for asking questions, making fun of people for not already knowing things somehow? Yeah, right. So opinions are like farts. Everybody's got them. Some stink more than others. I'm not sure where that metaphor was going, but you get what I'm saying. Basically, if you ask two people the same question on the internet, you're going to get two different answers, opposing, vehemently disagreeing with each other. It can be a cesspool out there. But there are some really cool people that I've met through YouTube and through the forums. So just expect that you might get some bad apples, but don't let that keep you from sharing your cool PC when you build it and asking your questions. And I put up a picture of the switch on my GPU. There's a BIOS switch that adjusts the fan curve. And when I put out that picture, you know, amongst all the people, you know, talking about, oh, GPUs are for the rich kids, and I can't believe you bought that, it's so overkill, and you're the problem, you're the reason GPUs are so expensive. But then there are people that are like, hey, look, your GPU power cable is like 1 millimeter not plugged in, and hey, it can melt even 1 millimeter, you need to make sure to plug it in. And I was like, really? And then they even outlined the part of the picture I needed to look at and send it back to me. And they're like, yeah, make sure to plug this in. And sure enough, I did. So every once in a while, there'll be a diamond in the turd pile, and somebody will give you some good advice. And you'll meet people like Joni and Michael and the other cool kids. But yeah, it is hilarious. Every YouTube video I put out, there's multiple people who will say something about a GPU or my cooler, and they'll have totally different opinions, and they know exactly, like they're professionals. You know, one will say, never get an AIO liquid cooler for your CPU. They don't work, they're overpriced. And then the next person will be like, this guy has no idea what he's talking about. That's the best cooler you can get for your CPU. And so you can't kind of take anybody's comment at face value, anybody's information. Make sure to do your own research, get multiple opinions, go to sources that you can trust. And hey, I'm still just learning this stuff, so I'm not trying to represent myself like I know everything. That's why I did my research by talking to an Unreal Engine developer, asked them what they use at home, what they use at work, and then why I went to a pre-building company to be my template for my PC. They know what they're talking about. It'll probably be best for their bottom line, but it's not good for their bottom line to make overpriced pieces of crap that their customers are not happy with. No, they're going to make good, dependable PCs, and that's why I went and used them as my standard, and then made some adjustments based on my intuition. Some of them were good, some of them were a little wonky, but such is life. Okay, yeah. So, update on the $250 PC giveaway. All the parts are in transit. They're in the mail, coming to me. I'm going to do unboxing. I'm going to do build videos. I'm going to compare it to the $5,000 PC, see how they stack up in Unreal Engine in gaming. You know, $250 to $300 PC is really hard to build in a way that you, the viewer, can replicate. I think 300 is about the bottom limit for a budget of a PC, and I'm talking after tax. $300 is the bottom budget where I can purchase parts online, make like a step-by-step guide, and then you can follow it at home. Anything beneath that requires I would have to go to like a thrift store and just happen to find an old PC that I can salvage parts out of, an old PC case. But around $300, I am blown away that I was able to do enough research to find parts that could actually fit that budget. It's really tough. And most people who only have a $300 budget for a PC who want to do video games with their PC, I would recommend just go for like an Xbox or something. You're going to have a way better time, way more performance. But it needs to be about Unreal Engine. So this $300 PC, $250 PC is for Unreal Engine. That's the express purpose. So it has to be a PC. It can't be an Xbox. So there are people out there who really want to get into game development, Blender, Unreal Engine, video editing, but just need it to be super cost effective. And I've actually figured out a build that you guys can follow. Plus, one lucky subscriber is going to get it in the giveaway. So, my book, Northport 1999, is currently available on my Patreon, patreon.com/Bodhi the Movie Maker. Check it out. $5 a month. It supports my work, supports the channel, gets you access to the book and a merch discount code. And like I said, check out the newsletter, link below, for information about when our auditions are coming up for the next short film. If you sign up for the newsletter, you will hear as soon as we put out the $250 PC giveaway, and we're working up to the $1,000 PC giveaway. Like I said, that video has to get 1,000 likes before I do that giveaway. It's not there yet. It's going to be a while still. YouTube growth is a slow process. For me, at least. I don't know. If you're a cute cat, maybe your YouTube growth could be really fast. Gosh, Lord knows I've seen a lot of really cute cats with 1 million likes. Not taking it personal, guys. But come on. Just kidding. Okay, yeah, so sign up for the newsletter, get all the information about all the different things we're doing, and you get exclusive content like project files, Unreal Engine project files, transcripts of our videos, and other cool stuff. Cool. Cool. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like, hit the subscribe, and hit the bell. And then here's how I sign off on my long-form YouTube videos. I say, okay, love ya, bye. So there's that. Let's see. we got a few more minutes, so should we try some, let's try some gaming. We're currently running OBS, and I really want to try to run a game on my PC. Oh, did the music stop? Huh. It did stop. Oh. There we go. I can handle the music. Got the music. All right, guys. I learned a lot. Thank you. You bet, Tigger. Yeah. I think this. I'm really excited to build this next PC. That it's actually $300. It's not a $250 PC. I found $250 is it's really, I can't give you actionable information. I'd have to go, like I said, to like a garage sale and just happen to find a PC and then use the parts that still work and then buy the parts that don't. But for $300 you can buy all of the parts used, most of them. And but you can easily replicate what I've done. It's also going to be really fun to do. I haven't built a PC in a while. First PC I ever built was this monolith, which was quite intimidating. Big investment, quite a learning curve, but it worked out and it was worth it. It was a lot of fun. Okay, why can't press? I want this game to start, but it wants me to log into Steam. What happened to the good old days where you could just play a game? You would just click the game and it would play. Evidently we're not in those good old days anymore. All right, let's do something more relevant. Let's open up something in Unreal Engine and I'm gonna look at different benchmarks. Because I might as well. I'm gonna try to figure out how to, I'm not, you know, a lot of these PC channels do benchmarks and stuff, and they show you the computer's score, you know, and the CPU temperature and GPU temperature. It's not something I really know how to do yet, so that's something we're gonna be learning. Let's open up, this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna open up some things that tell me the temperature of my various components. There we go. Then we can get an idea of how this computer is running. Okay, let me turn on my screen recorder and we'll wrap this video up with a few PC benchmarks. I'm going to share the screen as well so you guys can see it. And we'll see if we can get these fans spinning faster. So I've got a 4K display here, 60 Hertz. I've got a 4K 60 Hertz display here, even though it's really small. It is still 4K resolution. So then, let's go to OBS and figure out how to share my PC screen. Cool. All right. That, we're getting an infinity window. That happens. Okay, let's figure out. Here we go. Let's put me on top of that. Here I am. I'm back. Don't worry, guys. Let's make me small. Let's open up a few different projects for fun. We got this modular, no. Let's see, what do we got? What cool could we open up? Let's just open up anything. I was hoping, where's the pack? We've got a really cool content pack. Let's open it up if I can find it. Fantasy bundle. Whatever, I already have Fantasy bundle opened here. Let's open this up. Okay, evidently there's no room on this hard drive, so I'm not going to try to record. But as you guys can see here, my FPS, the following locations have limited free space. Oh damn it! I let my hard drive get too full to run this test. That's annoying. What? Oops, don't want to do that. Wow. All right, come on. Oh, what do you know? Unreal Engine opened. After all. So let's see if we can, well. Does this look familiar? I know Michael's done some, played around with this. So we're getting 107, 106 frames per second, 99% FPS. I don't know what that means. CPU utilization, 20%, GPU utilization, 82. GPU clock, 2800 megahertz. Memory clock, 10,500 megahertz. GPU temperature has gone up to 48. Now let's see the CPU. CPU. It's got a lot of core. The CPU's got a lot of cores. So how do you? I wish this was a more useful interface. I don't really know how to use it. So CPU. CPU power. Anyone know how to read this? I wish I did. I wish I knew how to read these things. But anyways, this is a really cool project. Fans are kicking up a little bit, but still really quiet. CPU temperature goes up to, is up at 64. So these are all the cores, CPU cores. why it's, I guess these are not, these are CPU threads. Yeah, those are CPU threads because it's got 32 threads. It's got 16 cores. I'm assuming that's what's going on. So CPU temperature is 64, 66 Celsius. Again, you know, I might not have applied the thermal paste as good as I could have when I installed my AIO cooler. Could have done a better job. Maybe I'll reapply it at some point, try that out. GPU FPS, 120 FPS. Oh wow, look at that, hubba hubba. GPU temperature, 62 Celsius. Interesting, I am not reflected in the mirror. I must be a vampire. Oh, look at that. So, yeah, I gotta adjust some of the lumens settings. Well, I'll figure out how to do better benchmarking and stuff and stress testing, but you know, I'm not like the guy who likes to tweak all the settings and learn all the stuff if I don't have to. I really like it, just you know, buy something you can count on and then it just works. And so that's part of the reason going for the CPU components I did. Didn't require as much thought. A trusted Puget, and they do just work. They're powerful. So, anyways, I think that's about as much of that as I'm going to put you guys through. This has been fun. This has been fun. Let's finish it off there, and I'll get better at the benchmarking stuff later. Try to give you some more information. But really the truth is, I've made an animated short film, working on a longer animated short film. I've made a bunch of different tutorials about Unreal Engine, and I've had no problems except for, you know, I didn't buy large internal hard drives because I have a lot of external hard drives that I can store extra data on. So you might want to invest a little bit more up front on internal storage, and then you won't run out of space like I do sometimes. But for the most part, 2 terabytes of internal storage is enough. And then if you have more than that, shift it off to a slower hard drive and bring it back on when you need it. You know, I ran out of space because I have some games installed and some other non-essential stuff. You know, screen recordings that I could delete, that kind of stuff. But the PC works, and it's fantastic. It's great, it's powerful, no problems. Okay guys, love ya.